Have you ever wondered why some people remain calm, polite, and balanced in every difficult situation, while others explode over the smallest things? Do you think it's just a matter of personality? Not really. It's the level of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions, to recognize the feelings of others, and to stay composed no matter what happens. And those who possess this ability simply don't do certain things, because they know that every emotional reaction is a loss of energy, and every impulsive response is an enemy of inner peace. Let's be honest, many people want to be calm and in control, but few actually are. When things don't go their way, they get irritated, lose control, and act out of emotion instead of reason. So, what are the 6 things emotionally intelligent people never do? To find out, stay with me until the end of the video. And if you want to support our work, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video so more people can benefit from what we're about to discuss. If you're ready, let's begin. Emotionally intelligent people don't value others' opinions over their own principles. We all sometimes care too much about how others see us. A single word, a look, or a comment, and suddenly we start doubting ourselves. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not good enough. But emotionally mature people don't fall into that trap. They understand that someone's opinion isn't the truth. It's just a perspective. Everyone sees the world through their own filter. They can't fully understand your values, your goals, or even your pain. That's why these people never measure their worth through someone else's words, because they know if you keep changing yourself to please others, one day you'll lose who you truly are. They don't get upset over criticism or gossip. They know that criticism often says more about the person giving it than the one receiving it. Sometimes people can't stand your peace, your success, or your freedom, so they talk about you. But a wise person doesn't take it personally. They see it as an echo of someone else's inner chaos. If you're emotionally strong, you begin to understand that reacting to every word only weakens you. Sometimes silence is the most powerful response, because silence shows how much you trust yourself. The Stoics used to say, it's not the event that disturbs you, but your interpretation of it. That means people can say whatever they want, but you decide whether their words will affect you. Don't let their noise echo inside you. Emotionally intelligent people know that true freedom is freedom from the opinions of others. Many people get so used to external validation that when no one praises them, they start to feel worthless. But emotionally intelligent individuals don't attach their value to others' approval. They know if you only love yourself as much as others applaud you, you've already sold your self-worth. They trust their own values. They know why they do what they do. They live not to please others, but to stay true to themselves. Such a person can't be shaken by criticism because their foundation is internal. Think about it. If someone has a negative opinion of you, does that really change who you are? If you're walking your path with integrity, why stop because of someone's words? Marcus Aurelius once said, if other people's opinions can turn you away from your path, then you haven't truly found it yet. That's why emotionally intelligent people stand out. They have silenced their need to look good to everyone. They no longer seek universal approval because they've realized being liked by everyone means not being yourself. True worth is shown in how you act when no one is watching. It's in choosing what's right even when no one knows. It's in staying true even when no one claps for you. So take a moment and ask yourself, did I change myself today just to please someone else? If you did, promise yourself you won't anymore, because your freedom doesn't come from what others think of you, but from believing in who you are. 2. Emotionally intelligent people don't suppress their emotions. They master them. Calmness doesn't mean silence or numbness. True calmness means that even when anger, fear, or sadness rise inside you, they don't control you. Because calmness is not the absence of sound, it's the presence of control. Emotionally intelligent people don't bury their feelings. They feel their pain, their anger, their disappointment. But with one difference, they are not ruled by them. They understand that denying an emotion doesn't make it disappear. It only pushes it deeper, and every buried feeling eventually returns as a stronger storm. That's why they don't deny what they feel. Instead, they observe it, name it, and understand it. When they feel anger, they acknowledge it. I'm angry right now. That simple act creates distance between them and the emotion, and that distance is the beginning of self-mastery. When you stay silent in anger, it may seem like weakness, but in reality, the one who doesn't surrender to emotion is the strongest, because that person acts not from instinct but from awareness. The behavior of others does not shake their values because they understand someone else's actions can never be an excuse for their own character. An emotionally intelligent person might feel the urge to explode, but stops. They take a deep breath and tell themselves, if I react now, I won't be in control anymore. And so they choose silence. That silence isn't cowardice, it's self-mastery. They know that every emotional reaction is a choice. Not replying to hurtful words, staying calm in front of provocation, showing patience when something breaks you. These aren't natural instincts. They are learned skills, and only those with inner order possess them. Everyone experiences emotional outbursts, but a wise person senses the storm before it starts and redirects it. For example, when someone insults you, you might remind yourself, this person is projecting their own pain onto me, but I don't have to carry it. That thought sets you free. You're no longer inside the emotion, you're above it. In Stoic philosophy, this is called self-possession. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, if someone can anger you, it means you have not yet mastered yourself. That's the true measure of a person's strength. The one who governs their emotions governs their life. Emotionally intelligent people understand that every feeling carries a message. Fear tries to protect you. Anger reminds you of your boundaries. Sadness calls you to change. They listen to these messages, not to the emotion's noise, but to its meaning. That's why they act more calmly, more thoughtfully, more in balance. People will try to provoke you, to test your limits. Your silence may look like weakness to them, but you know it's your armor. Because whoever controls their emotions controls their life. For an emotionally intelligent person, emotions aren't enemies, they're guides. But they don't blindly follow them. They recognize what they feel, yet they don't become what they feel. They choose to stay calm, to decide in silence, to move at their own pace. Because they know suppressing emotions creates silence, but mastering them brings peace. And that peace doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within. Protecting that inner peace is the greatest wisdom of life. The third behavior of emotionally intelligent people is understanding that not every disagreement must become a conflict. They know that differences in opinion are not battles. They are reflections of diversity. Not everyone is meant to think or feel the same way you do. They understand that the beauty of life lies in different perspectives, and being able to accept that difference shows the level of one's emotional maturity. But for many, disagreement feels like a threat. When someone doesn't agree with you, your instinct is to defend yourself, as if your value depended on being understood. In truth, a person who believes in their ideas doesn't need to prove them. Emotionally intelligent people don't run from discussions. They simply see their futility. They realize that sometimes silence is the wisest answer, because replying to every voice only lowers your own. If someone has decided not to understand you, arguing is useless. They're not trying to listen, they're trying to be right. For these people, peace matters more than victory, because inner peace is worth more than being right. That's why they often choose silence. But that silence is not defeat, it's conscious withdrawal. They know that sometimes silence speaks louder than 100 sentences. Not joining an argument may hurt your ego. It might feel like weakness when you're right but say nothing. But emotionally strong people know silence is control. Instead of fighting others' misconceptions, they choose to protect their energy. Most people argue to feed their ego, not to find truth. But emotionally intelligent people don't fall into that trap. They understand that arguments often crown the ego, not the truth. For them, calmness is victory. They don't feel the need to explain themselves to everyone. Sometimes they simply smile, because they can see that the other person is not defending truth, but emotion. And in those moments, the wisest move is not reaction, but distance. Because explaining something to an angry person is like talking to a storm. Only after the storm passes does everything become clear. If you speak in the middle of it, the wind will carry your words away. That's why silence is sometimes the purest form of wisdom. Emotionally intelligent people live by this principle. Not everything needs to be said. Not every argument must be joined. Not every wrong must be corrected. They know that preserving your energy is more important than proving your point. And this silent choice gives them freedom. Walking away from an argument is not fear, it is choosing peace. Every time they remain silent, the meaning of victory changes within them. No longer is winning about overpowering someone. Staying calm makes them stronger. True wisdom is staying composed even when someone misunderstands you. A person who doesn't need to prove their worth has already found it. And this is a deeper victory than any argument. The fourth behavior of emotionally intelligent people is that they don't carry the past. They understand that holding on to the past only makes life heavier. Every resentment, mistake, and regret is like a burden. The longer you carry it, the harder it becomes to see the beauty of the present. That's why they've learned to let go. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. No one can completely erase their past. But an emotionally mature person understands that the past can define who you were, but it must not control your future. They accept what happened, learn the lesson, and move forward. Because dwelling on the past is like touching the same wound over and over. The pain never ends. It only deepens. Emotionally intelligent people look at the wound and say, "Yes, this was a lesson for me." And they carry that lesson not as pain, but as wisdom. Forgiveness is freedom, for themselves, not for others. Holding a grudge is like carrying poison inside, and poison always harms the carrier. They know that forgiving someone doesn't mean saying, "You were right." It simply means, "I no longer want to be a prisoner of this pain." Letting go of the past is not always easy. Sometimes pain clings to you because you've made it part of your identity. But an emotionally mature person knows that feeling pain doesn't mean letting it control you. They acknowledge it, accept it, and release it quietly. For them, the past is a school filled with mistakes, memories, and tears. But they turn what they learn in that school into a compass for life. They no longer ask, "Why did this happen to me?" Instead, they ask, "What did this teach me?" This perspective makes them both calmer and stronger. The Stoics said, "Events do not define you. You choose the meaning you give to them." Emotionally intelligent people do exactly this. They transform pain, betrayal, and loss into experience. because carrying the past is exhausting your future. Every mistake, every setback is a stepping stone. Sometimes they fall from it, but they rise again. They understand that while every pain may take something, it also leaves a lesson. And that lesson is what makes tomorrow's version of themselves stronger. Letting go of the past is also reclaiming control. Because when you stay stuck in the past, you hand over the reins to another time. But an emotionally intelligent person says, "The past is part of me, but I no longer live there." They feel the breath of the present and appreciate the value of this moment. Letting go of the past is, in a way, stepping into freedom. You live not with what ifs, but with now. What hurt you no longer controls you because you've turned it into a lesson. And that is the key to inner peace. The fifth behavior is that emotionally intelligent people don't try to please everyone. They understand very well that trying to win everyone's approval is a trap that pulls you away from yourself. The more you try to please others, the further you drift from who you are. They know that being liked feels good, but being yourself brings a deeper sense of ease. For them, sincerity is more valuable than artificial politeness. Fake smiles don't ease inner tension. They only hide it. Emotionally mature people know that not every interaction or opinion is a test. They don't have to be loved by everyone. In fact, people who are liked by everyone have often compromised their values. They understand that sometimes saying no protects you. Sometimes staying silent preserves your peace. Sometimes stepping away brings you closer to yourself again. This isn't ego, it's understanding your own worth. For emotionally intelligent people, relationships are about authenticity, not approval. They aim not to be liked by everyone, but to earn the respect of the right people, because they know that sincerity may sometimes come at the cost of being disliked. But this does not diminish their value. It simply clears away fake connections. They know that someone who can't say no always risks their own values. They don't lie to avoid hurting someone, or stay quiet to look good. They choose to be real, because the desire to please everyone drains your energy. You may make someone happy, but inside, a void forms because you've betrayed yourself. Emotionally mature people know that inner peace is more important than external approval. They speak less, but every word they say carries weight, because they understand that sometimes silence is the strongest way of saying, "I am myself." Those who try to please everyone live in constant unease. They change for one person, stay quiet for another, perform for a third, and at the end, when they look in the mirror, they see a stranger. An emotionally intelligent person never finds themselves in that situation. They accept the risk of not being liked, but they never risk losing themselves. Yes, emotionally intelligent people live to be authentic, not to be loved. They understand that sometimes saying no is as merciful as saying yes, because honesty is always unpopular, but it always earns respect. Finally, the sixth behavior is that emotionally intelligent people do not let anger drive their decisions. Anger is one of the most powerful, yet most dangerous, human emotions. It can arise from a sense of justice or from hurt and offense. But emotionally mature people know that no matter how strong anger is, decisions made under its influence are always flawed. Anger sometimes emerges to protect you. It tells you enough is enough in response to humiliation or harm. But the problem is, when uncontrolled, anger drowns out the voice of reason. You don't think, you just react. And every decision made in reaction turns into regret once calmness returns. Emotionally intelligent people have learned to pause in these moments. They understand that calmness is not weakness. It is the purest form of self-control. Being calm doesn't mean feeling nothing. It means feeling everything and still acting thoughtfully. When anger rises, many cannot endure it. But a wise person knows If I speak now, anger will speak. If I wait, my mind will speak. So they pause, take a deep breath. That single moment may seem small, but it shapes character. For them, mastering emotions is a matter of internal discipline. They understand that a momentary reaction can destroy a relationship built over years. One angry word, one impulsive decision, one thoughtless action, and regret can last for days. That's why emotionally mature people act not on the impulse of anger, but on the clarity that calmness brings. The Stoics said, "The greatest power is the power over oneself." This is not just philosophy, it is a real-life skill, because everyone feels anger, but not everyone can control it. Emotionally intelligent people know that if anger is left unchecked, it takes over the mind. Remaining silent in moments of anger can be very difficult. It's like holding back a fire within you. But this patience is not weakness. It is full control over oneself. They understand that silence can sometimes be the sharpest response, and not all silences are the same. The silence of a wise person is the beginning of a thoughtful decision. Emotionally mature people do not suppress anger. They keep their distance from it, because they know that when we are immersed in anger, we cannot control it. They give themselves time, reflect, calm down, and then decide. In this way, they avoid regret and remain true to their values. Sometimes anger tells you, act now, but calmness says, wait and see how things unfold. And every time they choose calmness, the fire inside transforms a little into wisdom. They understand a decision ruled by anger is a decision where reason is lost. That is why they never place the voice of emotion above their values. They know that the greatest victory is mastering one's own anger. And in the end, every time they pass a moment of anger with calmness, they become a little freer, because now emotions do not control them. They control their emotions. And this is the highest form of internal freedom. Thus, emotional intelligence is a silent power. It makes you speak less but understand more. It makes you appear calm but teaches you to manage inner storms. Remember, staying calm is often the wisest answer. If you want to learn how to protect your inner strength and master your emotions, like emotionally intelligent people, like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Here we learn the art of self-mastery. See you in the next video.